impossible to breathe.
Lights out! Now you want to get nuts? Come on! Let's get nuts.
Film Junkee, not so live. That's right, guys. This is a pre-recorded. I don't know. I hate when I'm recording before the recording. I know. It's just a recorded show tonight. Film Junkee dead. I don't know. Kinda. Almost feel like it a little bit because I got about 3 hours sleep last night, which is now catching up to me because my day was a little bit rough and yeah, just didn't have everything set up right away. But welcome. Hopefully you guys had a good day, a good couple of days. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden it was just like when I was setting things up, I was eating dinner and then I was like, okay, I'm about ready to go. I had literally nothing set up. That's how my brain just was like fried. And I was going, wait, it's 5:48. I have not posted anything. I have not set up my different tabs and everything. So yeah, guys. Just, I don't know, like, I was good for most of the day, like, work and everything, but work just, like, drained me. I don't know what happened, so I apologize for not having the live show tonight, but I'm not going to do any edits or anything like that. We're going to record it and then just do the normal thing. I just can't talk to you guys live, but I appreciate you guys at least clicking in and checking out the show because, man, I tell you what. And then I went, what the hell happened to the time? I tell you. Isn't that weird, though? Isn't that weird how, like, time could just get away from you like that? Because, yeah, I mean, I did sit down in my chair and just kind of like, you know, after I got done with work, but then I had to go to the store, and then, I don't know, man, just time just went by like that. So that's the reason why this is not live tonight. And hopefully everything goes all right. And then, of course, my camera wasn't connecting to my computer again. It was just like a whole thing. And also, when I record these, hopefully this works too, because past couple of times, the recordings have not worked. So hopefully the recording works and everything is smooth and I could just upload the show in one clean chunk. Hopefully that's going to be the case, but we'll see, guys. We will see. But I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Hit that like, thumbs up. Do all the things and everything. So love ya. And well, let's get started. Let's get to the tweets. And hello, Mike Colter. Are you trying to show us something here? Huh? Are you trying to say you're going to be returning as Luke Cage? Because if your Instagram stories have any indication, it seems like yes, that you are returning as Luke Cage. What? Look at that. Look at that right there. That's right. Look at that. So he just decides to post this randomly? You know, we had, what's her name? Kristen Ritter. She's returning as Jessica Jones in Daredevil Season 2. Daredevil Born Again Season 2, I should say. I don't know. It seems like Mr. Colter right here is, he's kind of giving a little indication, which I hope he does. Get the whole group back together. Maybe for an episode. I don't know. Seems that's what they're doing. Seems like that. Okay, what else we got here? We got plenty like right here. Okay, this is pretty funny. It's pretty funny right here because, I've made jokes about this and I continue to make jokes about this. And even though I'm very much looking forward to Stranger Things Season 5, the final season, finally going to get everything wrapped up. But the fact that it's been taking so long and the fact that Stranger Things is Season 5, but it debuted 10 years ago. I almost had 5 again. Like 10 plus years ago, almost 11 years ago, almost 11. And, the fact of the matter is when you're working with a show that has kids, they grow up. And it's noticeable when they do grow up. So that's what's going to be interesting to see when it comes to Season 5. I know it's not like they look like old people like this right here that somebody made. That's what they're going to look like in Season 5. Jesus. Wrinkles and all. Grandkids. Freaking A, man. Grandkids are going to end up in the upside down. So that's just, I don't know. I just thought that was funny. I saw that That's hilarious. But I think that's just like, it's a running joke. It definitely is a running joke. All right. Well, that could be part of the Fantastic Four stuff. Ugh. I like this poster right here. You guys know I'm a sucker for some art, and especially when it comes to like little posters right here, especially when it comes to Batman. And this one right here is from Wes Dance. That's right. Wes Dance. That's a good name. That's a very good name. That sounds like an action star name or a song and dance kind of. I don't know. But he made this right here. I think I've seen this before, and I might have shown it before, but yeah. Tim Burton film, Batman, and the reflection, of course, showing Joker, and then technically a version of Harley Quinn, which was not, not really Harley Quinn, but, the mistress, not the mistress, she's not a mistress, he's the other guy, he's the what do you call when it's the guy? The other guy? I don't know. I'm trying to I'm drawing a blank. Again, 3 hours sleep, guys. My brain's not going to be working well. I know it's Wine Wednesday, and trust me, it's coming in handy. What do you call the guy? Because obviously she's with, what's his name? Yeah, again, names are going to elude me today, big time. They elude me when I've had a good night's sleep. But I'm just kind of going okay, so what would you call the guy's name? It's not because she's the one that's stepping out of her marriage from what's his name, and yeah, I don't know. I'm looking way too into that right now. That's for damn sure. But it's a cool poster. Good job, Wes Dance. That's all I have to say. Good job, Wes Dance. We're dancing. Well, I guess we could say bye-bye to that Prometheus trilogy. That's right. Yeah, I think some of us were kind of hoping that Ridley Scott was going to do just one more Alien movie. And there was actually a report, I don't know, sometime last year, I think, or at the beginning of this year. I don't know when it was, but I could have swore I saw a report that there was actually going to be, Ridley Scott said that he was working on another Alien project. And we were all just hoping that it was going to be at least a third from, the Prometheus trilogy, the prequel trilogy, because, even though the second was called Alien Covenant, probably, because the studio was like, hey, call it Alien this time and show that xenomorph, because, yeah, that's what we're selling here, Ridley. Even though Prometheus is fucking excellent and has become kind of like a cult classic, especially when it comes to that franchise. So we were all kind of hoping that, hey, that he would get that third movie so we could see what would happen with, David, right? When it comes to Michael Fassbender's character and the way that it was the cliffhanger that was left off of Alien Covenant. But according to Screen Rant, Ridley Scott says he's done enough with the Alien franchise. Where it's going now, I think I've done enough, and I just hope it goes further. So there you go. Not going to happen. No more on that, at least. And, he's in his 80s now, so yeah, he wants to do other things. Why even? He's got another Gladiator movie, I think, that he's preparing for. And why go back to the Alien franchise, especially when they have a TV show that's coming out? They got Fede Alvarez is already going to be. He's already working on the follow-up to Romulus. And we got Predator. We got the Predator franchise that are already laying the foundation for crossovers. So I think Ridley Scott's just like, you guys have this. I'm not going to do it. I'm done. I'm done. And we appreciate what he gave us. Those 3 Alien movies. Oh, this is fun right here. Steven Seagal. Now, Steven Seagal. We've heard stories. I'm sure you've heard stories. There's a lot of people that have talked about Steven Seagal, especially even where he is now. I don't know if you guys have seen what Steven Seagal looks like now. It's not pretty. The dude doesn't give a shit about his health. But it's so funny because Steven Seagal, I was never the biggest Steven Seagal fan when I was growing up. I mean, yeah, I watched Under Siege specifically for that Erika Laniak cake scene. Yeah. He had some good movies. I like Executive Decision because he dies in the first fucking 10 minutes. Spoiler alert for a 35-year-old movie or something like that. But I'm just saying, Steven Seagal, apparently, he's had a reputation, apparently, when it came to the 80s and 90s, when he was at the height of his success. apparently he was just a big-ass diva and a big-ass douchebag because I've never heard anytime that somebody has talked about working with him, it's never been good. There's never been any good takes. And then we got Michael Jai White right here, who was starred in Exit Wounds with him in the late 90s. I remember seeing that movie. But check this out.
On Exit Wounds, the producer, the director, they set the last fight, the last scene of the whole movie to be me and Steven Seagal's fight scene. And the director said to me, we're putting the fight scene with you and Seagal at the very last thing. So if you fuck him up, we don't need him. We can finish with his stunt double. And I'm like, Andre, are you serious? Yeah, man. I'm dead. And I was
Can we
like,
leave this in the pod?
huh?
Can we leave this in the podcast?
Of course, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
And this is a
You
true
wouldn't say it into a
story.
microphone if you didn't want.
And I'm like, you were kidding me, right? You were trying to get me to fuck up Steven Seagal and give him a cheap shot. Put it in, yeah, because we won't need him anymore.
They were tired of his ass.
I'm dead serious because, and then I went to the producer. I said, Andre, who's the director. I said, Andre just told me that that they put in the fight scene with Steven Seagal and I at the end of the movie. And he's like, yeah, because if you really hurt him, we won't need him. I'm like, are you fucking... These people are really trying to set up Steven Seagal.
They wanted to see a fight.
They wanted to see him get hurt, right? I'm not going to fucking do that.
Jesus Christ. So the director and the producer wanted Michael Jai White to, hey, don't pull your punch. Don't pull your kick. Actually kick him in the head. Kick him in the face. That's how much people hated Steven Seagal. And good on Michael Jai White for being like, I ain't gonna do that shit. Are you kidding me? True professional on his behalf. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, maybe Steven Seagal should have got punched in the face. Have you seen that guy run, by the way? The way that he runs? Oh my God. Just look it up. Just look it up. You could find like montages of him running. Hoo-wee. That's pretty crazy. Anyways. Man. This is weird. I feel like I'm lonely. There's like nothing. There's like nobody out there. I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, no chat. No chat. I've done pre-recorded. I've done recorded shows before, but yeah, it just kind of throws you off a little bit. I will say. The Saw franchise. Guess what is happening? Oh boy. The Saw franchise. We heard that. Yeah, the next Saw movie that was supposed to be coming out, it was kind of like dead in the water. And to be honest, I went, well, it should be dead in the water. Just end it at 10. You had 10 movies. Most of them are good. I always say the first 3 movies are a good fucking trilogy. I think they did a good job, and they should have just wrapped it up right there because, hey, guess what? The dude dies in the 3rd movie. But of course they did their, people get creative and like, well, this is how you keep the legacy of Jigsaw alive. So they made movies, 4, 5, 6, and then it's just, yeah, those ones just started like, oh, this is getting really bad, especially Saw 3D, probably the worst one. But then they kind of like, they got a little creative with Jigsaw, I thought. I thought Jigsaw was like, whoa, you guys did some nifty, creative little storytelling when it came to that. And then, of course, they try to do a spin-off kind of thing. Like, hey, let's send it off in another direction. Chris Rock wants to do something. Spiral didn't really work. And then they brought it back with Saw X. But then how they did it, too, which was more of like, obviously, a prequel, they kind of just made Kramer, Jigsaw, they kind of just made him like a hero. And not what he started out to be. It was like, oh, wow. And I even said, that's actually kind of brilliant and kind of not, because they just kind of changed what this dude was all about and kind of just made him like this hero type. And I'm like, man, if they move forward with the franchise, he could just be like a hero for hire, where he just puts bad people who are fucking over people into these situations, which, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they still do that anyways. But guess what? Blumhouse is acquiring the rights to Saw, with Lionsgate still involved as partner. Creatively, the franchise is now back with James Wan. So that's what's interesting about that. It's like, oh yeah, that's right, because James Wan is part of Blumhouse. So now James Wan, who helped, obviously he's one of the creators of the franchise. He directed that first movie and co-wrote it with Lee Whannell for like such a small budget, man. So good. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I guess, negotiations and everything are just still happening, but that's what's going on over there when it comes to the Blumhouse world. All right. See, I don't even have, Jesus Christ, I just realized I don't even have like the right, I don't even have the right decals up right there. It's like, wait a minute, why do I have those up? I'm not talking about Avengers for the last one. The other ones are fine, but Avengers is not the last topic I'm actually going to be talking about, but I forgot to change that too. I'm telling you guys, I don't know what it was last night. Basically what happened last night was I was tired. I hit a wall at about 8:30. And I'm like, okay, well, Wednesday's my early day because I have to wake up extra early because I have like a really early morning meeting. So I go watch the Giants lose because they're just shitting the bed right now. So I watch that, turn off the TV, I'm kind of scrolling through my phone, and then I doze off for about 20 minutes, half an hour, and then, what? And that was it. Couldn't fall back to sleep. Just could not. And then there'd be times where I thought I was going to fall back to sleep, and then there was just something that was going on in my brain that was going, no, don't fall asleep, as if like Freddy was going to get me at night. I don't know. It was just like, come on. So I didn't fall asleep till fucking after 1 o'clock. I had to be up at like, I don't know, 4:30. So I got about 3.5 hours sleep. And it's always kind of weird because when I started work and I started doing everything, I felt really focused. I don't know if you ever felt like that when you've had not that much sleep where you just go, yeah, this sucks, but I'm feeling really focused. But I think like I was feeling really focused for most of the day. And then when I started getting towards the end of the day, all of a sudden I started just being like, and that's what I kind of feel like right now. So, which, yeah, big time, because I don't even we got a lot to talk about though when it comes to these Superman posters. So we got Superman posters that were all released and everything. So let's just go to good old Jimmy Guns. We got plenty of things to talk about, but let's start off with these. We got so many, even more behind the scenes featurettes and all the kind of things. So let's first start off with the Superman posters, okay? Superman posters. All right, so every character is getting a Superman poster. And what was funny about all this is the biggest cries that I kept seeing out there in social media is the fact that, where's Lois? Where's Lois? Are you kidding me? The dog gets a poster, but not Lois Lane? What's this misogyny? Stop it. Stop it. Jesus Christ. Superman is just such under a magnifying glass or a microscope. It's pretty damn crazy. But obviously what he said right here when he first released the first round of these character posters are meta-humans arrive this summer in Superman. And then, of course, showing off, we already kind of saw this poster. There's Crypto having their very own poster. We have robot number 4. We got, of course, Guy Gardner gets his own poster too, looking absolutely ridiculous. You gotta love it. You got Mr. Terrific right here. There's Eddie. And you got his balls all over that poster. That's right. You got the balls. Now, when it comes to Hawk Girl, there she is right there. The helmet looks great. I will say that. But this is where the white eyes really would come in handy. I'm just saying they should have the lenses in this helmet. I think so. Do you think so? I think so. Also, these posters, they're not that great. They're really not that great. I don't think they're that great. I am like, okay, cool. That's fine. I like it. They're keeping with the theme with the whole spectrum and stuff like that. Fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. Sure. But then, of course, there was like more rounds of posters. Let's see what else we got. I got to go back a little bit. We got more. Okay. He released more posters. Okay. So now we got the villains. I guess you could say villains. Not all of them, but we got the villains. Lex Luthor, he looking pretty good. Nicholas Holtz looking pretty good as Lex Luthor. And then, of course, we got the engineer, Maria Gabriela da Ferreira, who is hot. Hey, there she is. Everyone's favorite moment in the trailer. That's right. Favorite moment. Everybody loved that moment. Lost their minds that she would take a selfie. Miss Taskmaster. Ah! Yeah, of course. They were like, I can't believe James Gunn put that in there. It's like, no, that's just the character he put in there. My God. And then, of course, we got Metamorpho, which very Frankenstein looking if you think about it. Pretty Frankenstein looking. Yeah. So, yeah, I was like, geez. Oh, I forgot one. Of course, we got Rick Flag Sr. He got his own poster, too. Frank Grillo got his poster, too. But, yeah, everybody's like, what the fuck, man? Where's Lois? And it's like, relax, guys. Relax. It's just posters. They're not that great. But the Daily Planet crew is going to get their very own posters, too. And I guess it's all going to be in the similar vein of that, the way that is. Yeah, I don't know. Just not all that great. But you know what is great is the fact that Superman is actually going to be having practical animatronics, not relying heavily too much. Obviously, there's a lot of VFX shots, sure, but when you come to at least the robots in the Fortress of Solitude, those ones are very much practical. I'm sure there's some VFX involved, but here's this behind-the-scenes featurette.
We have no consciousness whatsoever. Merely automatons here to serve.
That's so funny. I love him. This is Superman Robot number 4. That's his legal name, played by Alan Tudyk.
His voice is my voice with better enunciation.
No need to thank us, sir, as we will not appreciate it.
We are tasked to build the automaton robot.
There's so many moves in this guy.
I'm so blown away.
Superman, you must rest.
No can do, 4. I gotta get back to the fray.
Gotta get back to the fray. So we got a little bit more footage right there. That's what's cool about some of these behind-the-scenes quick little videos right here is you get just a little bit more footage. So we got Superman after getting shot with a heavy dose of sun, which, of course, people have a problem with, even though if you could explain it like, well, I think it's this, and that's kind of cool and unique and something different. No. They want everything the same, except for when another director does something different. That's what it is. So yeah, you get some more footage when it comes to that, but and then of course they release this too because you got Guy Gardner, you got that stupid haircut, you're gonna make a featurette on it, and yeah, you're gonna make fun of the whole thing. So here we go.
What I think we should do is bleach his sideburns so that he has to walk around in real life with just bleached sideburns.
I can hear you.
Really, I'm just making this movie as an excuse to give Nathan a bowl cut.
Of course.
For our next number, got to play a little song I wrote about love.
That's what he looks like right
And
there.
they sing without an accent.
And then you sing without an accent.
Always. Oh, yes. Yeah, much better shape than last time.
Bring it back to book up.
Yeah.
That haircut should be against your vows.
That what? That what should be what?
Ha! Okay, I love that. I mean, look at this. Lois Lane, Miss Rachel Brosnahan, just flat out, just giving him the business. This is the new footage right here.
That haircut should be against your vows.
That what?
Should be against the what again? Vows. Yeah, that's right. I was like vows.
Vows.
That what? That what should be what?
Yeah. And of course, people are losing their minds about that. They hate it. There's that side of the fandom definitely does hate it. But I'm like, well, it's Guy Gardner. How else do you want? Are you a fan of Guy Gardner? You want him to be like not that? I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous, and they're leaning into it. They're leaning into the ridiculousness at least. Just the way it is. What can he say? So you had both of those little featurettes, which I'm like, yeah, cool. Because again, you get a little added footage. It works out. But yeah, so we have the posters, we had the footage, behind the scenes featurette. So that's pretty cool. And Baby Joey, it's been verified. We had that prequel book that has been out there that basically is like given some insight when it comes to certain characters when it comes to Superman and Baby Joey, which everybody was kind of wondering, okay, so that definitely is going to be Metamorpho's kid. What's happening with Baby Joey? Yes, as a matter of fact, Baby Joey is Metamorpho's toddler son. When Joey is taken, Metamorpho must choose between working with Superman or Lex Luthor. So Metamorpho really is going to have a struggle. There's going to be a nice little subplot, I think, when it comes to Metamorpho's character and the struggle that he has, because, essentially he is kind of like that. He's a freaky looking dude. He's kind of a monster-esque, and he's got a kid. And that's what's crazy. And I think that's maybe why James Gunn was trying to emphasize the fact that, oh yeah, there's like a Frankenstein's monster kind of thing when it came to that character poster of him. So there's going to be a struggle there that's going to be, I think, a good subplot. I mean, it seems like, yeah, there's probably going to be numerous subplots in this movie, but I think, and that could, some of them could probably suffer, but I don't think that Metamorpho's little subplot's going to suffer all that much. And remember, too, practical stuff. These are called LexCorp soldiers, Raptors. They're called Raptors. So if you're seeing like these guys right here, they are called Raptors. Of course, the it's all based on. It looks like the the suit that Lex Luthor is actually going to be wearing. Yes, Superman is. I guess Superman has been officially turned in. It's been rated. Obviously, we knew it was going to be rated PG-13. I mean, I kept hearing people that said this is a children's movie. I thought it'd be rated G or rated PG by the way that these guys were talking about. But no, it's rated PG. It's definitely rated PG-13 for violence, action, and language. But it's like, okay, yeah, okay, so which one is it? Again, I had this question, I think on Monday's show, where I was like, okay, so these guys are saying like that James Gunn's making this cartoon version, cheesy version of these characters, but then they're like, oh no, kids should not be seeing a James Gunn movie because it's from the mind of James Gunn. And of course, I know what they're kind of alluding to, but then at the same time, they're also alluding to the fact that he has dick and fart jokes, so kids shouldn't be watching that. So which one is it? Is it for kids or is it for just what? Immature adults? Is that what we're trying to go for? I don't know. But there's that. And then you got Rachel Brosnahan right here talking about the challenges of filming. She was interviewed from Esque Magazinio, and she talked about the fact that she's never worked with like VFX characters. So basically, I gotta like respond and talk as if there's nothing actually there. I've never felt like a worse actor in my life. We started hanging from wires, shooting with fake animals that weren't actually there, and doing all sorts of other jazz that'll get added in post. But it was great. You learned really quickly what you are and aren't good at. I'm sure she's still gonna nail it, especially giving Guy Gardner the business. Because why not? Okay. So we got all that. And then apparently, guys, Apparently, we finally have the Superman runtime. I don't know. At this point, I just don't care now because I'm like, okay, so it's not going to be less than 2 hours. It's not going to be more than 2 hours and probably 15 minutes. I'm just kind of going, okay, I don't really care anymore. We're totally just like emphasizing the Superman runtime, but now we have something, but who knows if this is even official, but this is from AMC Theaters that has Superman listed, and what did they have it listed as? 2 hours and 9 minutes. 7 minutes after the initial thing that we heard before. It's like, who cares? I'm just like going, who cares? At this point, it's like, all right, it's going to be somewhere between 2 and 2:15 or 2:14. Hey! Oh, man, can you imagine? If it was 2 hours. If the runtime ended up being 2 hours and 14 minutes, those diehard Snyder fans would lose their fucking minds, and there would be all these conspiracy theories, all this and all that. Oh my God. The madness that would actually create would be absolutely insane. It would be insane. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it when it comes to DCU news. But I did want to talk about this real quick. I did want to talk about this. Let me find it here. Now, what was it? What the fuck? Okay, I'm trying to... man. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. It was crickets. Okay, what the fuck? I typed in that. James Gunn at CCXP, obviously with the Peacemaker. the Peacemaker panel, which of course was an interesting couple of panels, which, not much really came out of it. We got a behind-the-scenes featurette, which was pretty cool. Yeah, that works. And John Cena was definitely on a good one when it came to that first round. But obviously down in Mexico, well, they have a little bit of a delicacy. And that delicacy is crickets. That's right, crickets, eating crickets. And what happened on stage? Well, both James Gunn and John Cena, they ate some crickets. Oh, a whole cup of crickets. Oh, good God. That'll get your protein. Ugh. And there's John Cena. Okay, well, I mean, whatever. I don't want to eat crickets, but at the same time, of course, I saw a lot of people going, the co-CEO of DC Studios, everyone. I'm going, that is a delicacy down there. I know, in your cozy little world that you live in, that's not, you're just like going, ew, but at the same time, you get put on the spot down there in Brazil. And they do that, and then you just go, well, you're going to try to hype up the crowd. You're going to try to do something. I think anybody on that stage would have done the same thing. Unclench, guys. It's okay. It's not that serious. It's fine. It's not like they're going to be selling, like, Superman cricket packets now. Get fucked. It's like, again, unclench, man. Unclench, but it's all good. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. I think that's what we can. I think that's it when it comes to all that. So there you go. DCU news. Was there anything else that I was going to talk about? Like I said, I mean, it's such a because, like I said, I've had a lot of caffeine today just to like keep me going, and I'm just like going. But you know how like when you don't have good sleep and then you do have a lot of caffeine, you just feel really wired. I'm just like going, But again, as long as I'm like talking and moving forward, I'm good. But let's talk about Fantastic Four. Let's talk about Fantastic Four because there's plenty of Fantastic Four madness that happened today too. Because tickets went on sale. That's right, tickets went on sale, and we got a new little trailer. I guess it's like 1 minute and 15 seconds, but we got new footage because a lot of people are wondering, like, hey, are we going to be getting new footage when it comes to Fantastic Four? We're seeing like the same shots over and over and over again, and I haven't watched this yet, so this is basically a reaction from me. What?
Family.
They're having a kid?
It's about connecting to something bigger than yourself. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together.
There he is. There's little Franklin.
Johnny, now!
As a family.
Today, we are your defenders. The four of us will face the danger. And we will protect you.
Is this guy good? The clobbering time? Oh, yeah.
It's the clobbering time.
I finally knocked it off the list.
List.
The new spacesuits.
Oh. I take back every single bad thing I've been saying about you. To myself. In private.
There it is. Not bad. I like it. Filmed for IMAX. Good stuff. We have like new stills that are out there too. We got a popcorn bucket. We got the Fantastic Four popcorn bucket. And no, you're not going to be eating popcorn out of the Thing's head. Well, at least with this one, you're not going to have the Thing's head. You're going to be eating out of Galactus's head. That's right. Limited stock, giant Galactus, popcorn vessel, includes large popcorn for AMC theaters. There you go. Who wants some of that Galactus popcorn? Extra butter? It's like you're eating his brains. What the F? Hey, but it looks cool as hell. Just wondering how much it costs. probably a pretty hefty one. Pretty hefty one. Okay, and like I said, there's some new still shots that came out there. I know, you just gotta love, okay, so there's actually gonna be, okay, so there's more, but that's not it. There's more popcorn buckets, apparently. So you got a Herbie one, I guess, includes large popcorn. So you're actually gonna be holds, I don't know, maybe is this even real now? And then you got one that's a Fantastic car for Regal, okay. And then, of course, yeah, another one when it comes to Galactus. These popcorn buckets are getting crazy. But you know what's... The thing is, like, again, blame Dune. That's what started the whole craze last year. Last year or the year before? I don't remember. It was the year before, right? No, it was last year. Yeah, I'm like, again. But yes... So, yeah, we got we got posters. I mean, obviously tickets went on sale. It's going to be interesting now to see. I will say there's already people that are already like doing that whole thing where they're showing like, oh, people aren't buying tickets. I'm like, okay, do we have to really jump the gun when it comes to all that? I don't think we have to do that. But hey, people are already posting all of those things. But yeah, so Fantastic Four. Yep, still shots and everything, and tickets go on sale. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna get probably more of a box office tracking when it comes to Fantastic Four now that we have pre-sales that are happening. Because I think Superman's pre-sales are also this week, or is it next week? I can't remember. I remember somebody was talking about it. But anyways, all right. So there's some Fantastic Four stuff, and now. Well, we're going to talk about the box office this weekend. I meant to actually put the Ballerina logo because that's what's coming out this week. But like I said, I'm telling you, it was almost like I got done with work, and since it was my early day, I got done a little early, and I went and ran some errands. And then when I came back, I just kind of, sat down and relaxed a little bit and was listening to a podcast and whatever. I didn't doze off or anything. And then I was checking some things. And I tell you what, just, I don't know what happens with time, especially, I guess, when you're, sleep deprived. All of a sudden, it was just, boom, you have to get shit going. And I always thought I had plenty of time to do everything. And I just forgot to do things and everything. Tell you what, struggle. It's been a struggle. I think I'm getting slightly... There's a slightly like a burnout thing that's happening because I've really been pushing a lot of things, which has been really good for the channel, I will say. I've been pushing a lot of shorts and, videos and stuff. And then, of course, when it comes to the live streams, that could get, whoa. It's like, wait, you got to do the live streams there, bud. All right, so Ballerina's coming out this weekend, so let's go to the Devil Fruit site and see what the critics are talking about. Currently, it's at a 75% with 72 reviews. Yeah, okay, so let's see what's going on with these right here. Hey, we're going to start off with a bad review. Creative fight sequences and a stellar Ana de Armas can't prevent the spinoff from feeling like a little more than a John Wick side quest. Ana de Armas holds her own in a spinoff that eventually finds its inner Wick. It's a repetitive copycat for the majority of the runtime until the finale, which boasts just enough over-the-top stunts and exhilarating duels that it nearly redeems itself from the borderline boring start. May not carry the same direct emotional potency of its bigger brothers, but it's an extension of the series' mythos, and as another example of modern action cinema par excellence, it more than delivers. On an action level, Ballerina delivers. While it's not as consistently high level as the rest of the John Wick movies, there are sequences that are among my favorite in the franchise. The world of John Wick gets a jolt of over-the-top energy with Len Wiseman's Ballerina, which is a blast to watch, but isn't without its problems. Let's end it with a bad one right here from Mr. Jonathan. It's another wasted opportunity in a series that collects them like they're going out of style. Yee! Oh, I could have read Grace's, hers. She said, well, an honest to goodness John Wick movie. In fact, one of the best in the franchise. Well, Ana de Armas does a great job with the action, and Keanu Reeves transitions quite well to more of a mentor role. Amazing fight sequences and glamorous locations. Lots of fun. All right, that's my stupid freaking Grace Randolph impression. But yeah, look forward to my first reaction. I'm watching it tomorrow. I mean, we got brother film junkie, nephew film junkie, nephew best friend film junkie, and pops film junkie going tomorrow. We're all gonna be going to see this fucking movie. That's for damn sure. All right, since I messed up and didn't do all that, the last thing I actually wanted to talk about was something that I saw, and it kind of like hit home for me. And it was, like I said, it wasn't like there was like a ton of news that happened, but I was like, you know what, I want to talk about this, because yes, this is actually pretty damn true of what's happening when it comes to modern day movie theaters and everything. And it's something that I don't know what they could do to address this, but it is kind of crazy when you have someone like Martin Scorsese talk about this right here. Like, obviously he's not like big time out there, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, he's still going to be, very much, got his pulse, like, he's holding the pulse to what's happening currently, because he has to. He definitely has to, but that there is something that's happening. And this was like something that came out. Somebody, this is from Peter Travers, that talked to World of Real, that basically that said this right here, and I have a story myself. Martin Scorsese doesn't watch movies in public movie theaters anymore. Peter Travers says Scorsese told him that audiences talk and go on their phones too much during films now. When I saw Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, the dude sitting next to me, because it was a pretty full theater, the dude next to me who was, hurt himself, I'm not sure what happened, crutches, and I'm just kind of going, okay, cool. He's at a movie theater. He probably hurt himself, and then he's going to be relaxing, and hey, he's going to be watching. But I could tell he was a younger dude. And guess what happens 20 minutes into the movie? He pulls out his phone and is on his phone for a good hour or so. He is on his phone for a while until you get to the final act, when things start getting really crazy. Then he finally put the phone down. And I did one of those things where I kind of like, where you just give a look like, what are you doing? I mean, at least he had, the courtesy. He had the courtesy at least to be like, I'm going to dim my fucking screen so nobody gets annoyed. But at the same time, in my periph, I'm seeing this motherfucker scrolling his Instagram or whatever the hell he was doing. And I'm going, you paid for the ticket, or did somebody else, because you're on crutches, and they were like, hey, we're going to take you to the movie. So they paid for you, and you spent most of the time watching it on your fucking phone. Okay? These people need to be kicked out of the movie theaters, and people bringing kids in strollers to PG-13 R-rated movies also should be removed. I'm just saying. I know that's not going to happen, and it's probably not the solution, but I'm just saying, me personally, yeah, remove these fucks, okay? You have your phone out? Okay, I can understand maybe looking at it because you got a notification. You want to make sure, like, hey, did someone die? Sure. I could totally understand that. But if they're on it for more than 30 seconds, out, okay? You have a kid in there that's, watching a very adult movie, out. Don't even sell the ticket to them. God, how many times has that happened too? Ugh. Okay. Rant over. Turn that one off. That's not... Well, I guess I don't even have any questions. That's right. I'm going, oh yeah, now time for questions. No. This is weird. It's always weird because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just recording this. It feels kind of lonely, but yeah, but that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else that's really come about. And again, apologize, guys. I hate it when that happens, especially on my long day. Sometimes just the insomnia kicks in. Because every now and again, I think like once a month, sometimes twice a month, I'll just get that, where you just start, your brain's just like, and it always happens on Tuesday, because I think because I think part of it is, I got to get up really early. Oh, I got some deadlines. I got some things to do at work. Oh, I need to get, I want to get this video out, this clip out, that. And then I'm like, oh man, and then of course I gotta do this, and I gotta do Fanimated, I gotta do members only, and I think like you just get all up in your own head, so then all of a sudden you just can't sleep. It sucks, but hey, it's not a common thing. It's been a long time since I've had one of those kind of nights and it sucks because I literally went to bed like a little after 8:30. I was in bed, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna last too long tonight, and good. But then at the same time, I'm like, all of a sudden, just like I doze off. I just, you know, I was like looking at my phone, and all of a sudden I'm just, and then I just wake up like a half hour, 20 minutes, half hour later, and then I can't fall back to sleep. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Fuck. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you. Hopefully you guys stuck around and watched this entire thing. I know it's a little bit of a different vibe, and you know, you can't live comment and stuff, and I can't react to all that, but thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Like I said, look forward to my Ballerina first reaction review tomorrow. That'll be up, and yeah, of course, we'll talk about it more on Friday. Got a guest on Friday's vodka stream, so that'll be fun. It's a recurring guest that was not a guest on the vodka stream prior. I think you guys know who I'm talking about. Pretty recent person who was a guest on this very channel. You guys know it's Ernie Altbacker. Of course, he's going to be showing up because we want to talk about his new book and pick his brain a little bit more, because we had such a fun time on DC Animated. Go ahead and watch that, and you know, it'll be a fun time on Friday as well. So all right, guys. Again, I apologize for not having the live, but you know, still wanted to do a full show and got through it and everything. So love you guys. We'll hopefully get back to normal fully next week. But then again, who knows? It's been pretty crazy lately. Anyways, all right, guys. Love you. Talk to you later.